What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Late Night Legends. I'm your host, DJ DeVille. We've got some awesome guests in the building. The usual suspects. We got Icon, Alex Dreams, and Exile in the building. Welcome,
Let's
guys.
Go.
In the hot seat. In the hot seat.
We got Exile in the hot seat.
Caliente.
Yeah, man. Actually, that's why we need you in the hot seats, because you had a really awesome weekend, it sounds like, right? Or how long has it been? You were in Puerto Rico.
I just got back last night.
Oh,
Set it up for everybody. Like, what exactly is going on in Puerto Rico?
So, Bad Bunny has I didn't know it was a residency. I just called it a concert.
No, it's a residency.
He's got a 30-show residency in Puerto Rico. He did it in Puerto Rico to not boycott the U.S., but to bring everybody to Puerto Rico. The first month, or the first, I want to say 12 shows, where you can only be a Puerto Rican resident to get the tickets.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so you couldn't be an
you're showing
outsider.
love to Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
that's sick.
The whole album is about,
Yeah.
and I'll get to that. And then me and my wife, we went to the second or third show that he opened up for tourists. So, but still, bro, everybody was Puerto Rican in there. I was outnumbered for the first time, bro. Being Mexican, I was like, man, I'm like the only Mexican in here.
For sure you're not.
No, but it was dope that we were on his 14th show, and he brings out a guest every night. So it's somebody big. He brought Sech for us.
Oh, that's dope.
From Panama, but he does a big guest every night.
Well, I just want to know the visual. Like, where is this actually taking place, and how many people is this per night?
It is in the Choliseo, which is their biggest stadium in San Juan.
San Juan,
Coliseum,
okay.
yeah. And it's bigger than I thought it was.
Is this a
It's
football
huge.
stadium?
No, it's as big as probably like 1.5 T-Mobiles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's 16,000 or something
Is
like
it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's like that.
It seems a little bit bigger, but
That's
it's
a
like
nice
that.
amount, especially when you're doing 30 shows.
He's doing 30 shows, and the whole thing is decorated. It's 3 hours long, bro. 3 hours. The second hour
Opener
in,
or no opener?
he does. So I'll break it down. The first hour, he sets up like he's like in El Monte, like the hills of Puerto Rico. Yeah. It's very Puerto Rican. Everything is real Puerto Rican. Even the dress code is very like traditional, like old school Puerto Rican, like early 1900s, 1800s, and that's the whole thing. And so his first segment is he does his slow songs, the beginning songs of his new album. The stage looks all like Puerto Ricaned out. There's like guys playing plena, like original song, like the original Puerto Rican songs, traditional stuff, and it's all decked out like that. Then halfway through the show, he's got like a segment where like the guys do intermission, and he goes to a house, like a Puerto Rican house. It's on the other side of the stage, and he does a Puerto Rican house, like a style like Spanish house, like from the 1800s, kind of like bringing it like, you know, doing very traditional, and that's where he turns up. Like he does all his hits, he goes crazy with all his classics, like all the turn up stuff, and he brings out one guest, and what's cool about it, he gives the guest like 30 minutes of his own concert to him. Whoa. So like 5.
So like, that's a big look for him
it's
too.
Like, it's like, and I like that he's always giving his colleagues, like his fellow artists in the reggaeton world, their flowers. And then after that, his third act, I would say his third hour, he goes back to the main stage and he does all traditional salsa. He comes in like the Hector Lavoe, like, you know, like the 70s cut, and he's got the whole orchestra, and
salsa style.
Salsa. So he does all his hits in salsa. Like
so they're remixes.
Yeah, it's really cool. Ooh. And so that's how he ends it. So it's very traditional. It was inspirational. I came back inspired. Like, man, this guy really did it for Puerto Rico.
Yeah. And
he's not shaming other countries or anything. He's not. He just wanted to do it for Puerto Rico. He actually is going on a world tour after this.
Yeah.
But he just wanted to do the first 30.
Yeah, think about the economic impact he brought to
huge.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's
the water went out. That's how big his impact was. So because it's not that they don't have water. Because I would ask all the locals. I'm like, hey, why does the water run out? The electricity. There's so much people surging into Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico's not a big island.
They're not built for this right now.
Yeah, so
the infrastructure.
Yeah, and then our Airbnb and our hotel had like reserves. When my wife's looking up, she goes, "Hey, find out every Airbnb that has a reserve." I'm like, what's that? I guess because like if it's a big surge, the island, the power, it's the power. It's all it is. That's all it is. Not that they don't have water.
So it's like a power bank.
Yeah, power bank, and Bad Bunny shut the water off. I mean, not in a bad way. I'm not trying to shame.
No, but it's just what it is. It's such an economical impact of a show, and it's also impacting literally everything around it.
Yes,
I mean it's massive. So I mean, think, what was it? 20 to 30,000 people, let's say, per show are coming in, and that's per week. Is it a weekly show?
He does Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, so it's like a triple header per week.
Yeah, he has not. Like, I was surprised he had energy for our show. It's 3 hours, dude. I'm like, dude, I was standing there and I was tired. Like, well, not in a bad way, but I was like, dang, man, this is 3 hours long. Yeah,
that's how you know you're getting old, bro.
And I didn't drink at all. And I was like, oh man, this is long. Like,
I mean, I went to see Anima, and that was a 3-4 hour show, and I was sitting down, and I was still getting
the whole.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing from opening to closing.
Sphere?
Yeah, that's tiring, and you get to sit in an air conditioned seat, so I can't even imagine.
Man.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
Were you standing room only?
Yeah. We had seats. But
Okay.
everyone's standing because whatever. But about the second hour, I'm like, I gotta take it. I gotta sit down right here.
Yeah, it's tired.
Yeah, especially girls in heels. I can see the girls sitting down because they're all in heels and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was beautiful. Like
what's the energy like? I mean, the buzz of it all. I mean, it's such a powerful cultural impact that he brought back.
You haven't been to a Bad Bunny concert yet?
No.
now.
Oh my God.
I'm not really a concert guy.
So loud.
It's louder. It's bro, to see it in Puerto Rico was it's at a 10 here. It was at 100 over there because they knew word for word. Over here, because we have more Mexican, Central Americans. No, it's just that we don't have fakers. They don't know word for word. Like I remember when Bad Bunny did a trap segment.
The slang.
Yeah, they did the trap segment.
Yeah.
A lot of girls sat down. In his trap era, a lot of girls didn't follow him back then or didn't know the words.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they knew word for word the slang, and then he did a lot of visuals. Like the whole thing was about colonialism of Puerto Rico. Like he kept saying that we're not leaving, and he had like on the screen like 3 videos, like little interludes talking about Puerto Rico, we're not leaving, we're here to show the world and whatnot. And it was just like. It was just impactful, man. Well, it was very impactful.
It seems like he's on a crusade for education to teach the world about his culture.
He does a salsa segment teaching about all the salseros that came, because salseros, they're very prideful. Like Hector Lavoe, these like, how do I say it? They're like the Michael Jacksons of the world, like real, not the Bad Bunny's not real talent, but these guys are, like they can sing, they can play instruments,
they dance.
So Bad Bunny, when he did the salsa thing, a lot of salseros kind of ridiculed him, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not a salsero. Like, it's like kind of like if Drake did some Frank Sinatra. You're not a real singer like Frank, But he's like, I'm doing the homage to teach these kids what salsa and Puerto Rican heritage is. And when I was on, I went on a hike. The guy was Puerto Rican, like he's lived there all his life, probably in his 40s. He loved Bad Bunny. Man, I'm so glad that Bad Bunny's teaching these kids what bomba is, the plano, plena, and all the traditional stuff is, because the kids, it's kind of like saying in American culture, kids forgot what real music was for a minute, and all they want is trap now.
Oh yeah. Modern music is such a blip in time. And like technology has only been around for a short amount of time compared to organic music. You look at like African culture, like the drum-based everything. Yeah. Like everything was just percussion, and then evolved melodies. And then you look at like migration from Europe that went into the islands and all that. It's like the influence of all that. I mean,
is it crazy? Like in the Caribbean, when I look at the islands, and they're small islands, bro. And I'm like, damn, Jamaica really influenced the world.
Oh, for sure.
Like with drum and bass and all the dub and the reggaeton.
Yeah, bass lines.
Yeah, like
how bass
Jamaica is
bounce off beats. Like, just all that's very influential. But I mean, it starts to become it's like a big melting pot of all these different things. But Puerto Rico, because like I lived in Florida, so I got to see and experience a lot of that when I lived in Orlando, because like the Puerto Rican, like reggaeton nights and obviously salsa, bachata, all those things. I got my education right when I moved to Florida immediately.
What year was that?
Cool. Like when Gasolina came out.
Yeah, that's when the Gasolina days.
That year.
You're like, what's this?
I mean, that was when it shifted from traditional sound. I mean, obviously there's more reggaeton before that, but that popularized reggaeton.
That was a
huge cultural shift, and like dance hall was blowing up too. That was like, the Sean Pauls of the world and all that were coming in, and it was. And
you're lucky you got to be in Florida, because in the West Coast, bro, did we get a lot of dance?
Oh, dude, that was like my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Did you get a lot of dance? Because I wasn't DJing. I didn't get DJ until 06.
That was a crossover period, because obviously it existed, but
it was so fun.
Yeah,
there was so much energy to it. And like everything else was kind of getting a little bit boring, and then that came out, and it was like
the Beanie
girls
Man.
loved it. Yeah,
his girlfriend, like the Rihanna's, the Beanie Man.
It was so fun. I loved it.
I feel like the West Coast didn't embrace it as far as like the East Coast, like Florida or New York did.
Florida was
because it's more in their culture.
Yeah,
there's more.
Because you got to think about too, like
Caribbean people there.
Yeah, it's like literally us. Yeah.
Yeah, because like in Florida was a weird time, because like in 07, 08, 09, that was when pop music was blowing up, EDM was blowing up, dance hall was crushing it, and reggaeton was crushing it. And the Gucci Mane era was kind of happening all at the same time.
Damn, I look back at it now.
Those to your point, like I wasn't playing in like Seattle or Boston, but in Vegas it was huge. And in San Diego it was big. Yeah.
Okay, Vegas, you were playing. It worked.
Oh, it was. Yeah. It was
See, I keep thinking like those was like the mashup era. like those rockets, like those rock.
No,
mashups.
that was you like start your set with it. It was great.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because I actually have a question for you too. Because like, how long have you been a DJ?
Since 06?
06.
05,
Okay,
yeah.
so you actually got to see 2 Latin waves. Is that fair to say?
I'm glad, bro, yeah, you nailed it.
So now, the first one, I didn't feel like lasted as long.
No, it didn't.
It kind of faded away again because EDM blew up. You know, like so the Swedish House Mafias and the Aviciis all came in, Deadmau5. It kind of eclipsed that, I would say, because it had its moment. You know, the Gasolinas and the Don Omars and like all that stuff was great, but it didn't last quite as long. This time, like
3-4 years, if that.
The J Balvin or the J Balvin surge and the Bad Bunny surge lasted a little bit longer, but I feel like that's even calmed down a bit. Would you say, is that fair to it?
You nailed it on the head. I felt like the first reggaeton wave was like 3-4 years. And then it went to EDM, pop, and then huge EDM, the Afrojacks, and then it went to hip hop. And J Balvin, I think he doesn't get enough credit. He kind of brought it back with the Colombian sound. It sounded more poppy.
Mi Gente, I feel like Mi Gente was a huge crossover hit.
Despacito, like it became very pop. It came easier on the ear because the old reggaeton is bro. I mean, I think of production. What they have, you know, they didn't have like what they had 10 years.
It was also all the same producers and same artists, and I think
it was rougher.
Yeah, what happened was that there wasn't enough superstars. There was only Don Omar and Daddy Yankee, and everything. Looney Tunes was producing everything, so everything sounded the same. So it just started kind of
to fizzle.
And then everybody was just they didn't have enough artists.
What
happened?
It was just
Puerto Rican artists.
Well, you had the crossovers like Justin Bieber doing Despacito.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look how the reach was on
Beyonce
that.
on Mi
Gente.
Exactly.
That is the point where I said, "This is it."
This is it.
Because it was Mi Gente. It was also who else crossed over? Cardi B.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people crossed over in that era. But Justin Bieber jumping on that.
That was the one.
That was it. Like
yeah.
I was like, finally.
Every night for like 3 years they'd play that song prime time. Like that was like it never to this day that still works.
But why did it fizzle this time around? My theory is like,
why is it going away?
Why is it slowing down this time? Because I feel like it's wasted energy. It did so well for such a long time, and I'm like, man, there's so many good artists. There's a lot of superstars, and my theory is that I feel like it started to sound a lot of stuff where it was like hip hop crossover. It was like going into the hip hop realm when it could have just stayed with unique beats. Because like think about it, everything that came out from like 2019 to current, everything had a very unique sound. Like every beat sounded different, and all of a sudden it started to sound the same and more of the same. And then you had another little spike with Peso Pluma. Because it was traditional Mexican, regional Mexican. And then after that,
first hit was reggaeton though. That really crossed him over.
Yeah.
It was.
Was that a song?
I mean, plus you guys gotta
just on the remix.
I
think
still
about it from like our standpoint. Like we don't speak Spanish, so there's only so long that can run before like girls and whatnot. Like
because it's not a novelty.
You can only listen to so much music in another language.
Yeah.
Before you're like, well, I don't understand. Like, what
there's no American artists or English speaking
exactly.
artists. But it lasted from 16 to like 23, man.
It was a long run.
I think the answer to that is that it just got, bro, after 8 years of dominance, like, bro, it's got to change.
Yeah.
So, but also these guys started doing house. Like they went up beat. The Dembow wave came out, the 128s, 125s.
Because like I feel like Peso really did, like Peso Pluma like had a crazy unique spike. It just came and went so fast as far as like from like a college crowd, because I had every single person like
crossed
like
over
all the Brads and Chads at my college
No
parties.
way.
They were asking for Ella
They're literally asking for what was the
Ella Baila Sola.
Yeah, they were asking for that one. And it was in the middle, like Banda.
See, I don't play in a lot of like open format, or if I do, I don't drop that because I'm scared. I'm like, then I gotta know this.
Yeah, it was hilarious because it's like
do you think it's also like not immigration, but like more Latinos here and like people coexist more like back in 05?
Like the people that were asking for it were straight up
What I'm trying to say is like you said, the Chads are hanging out. They embrace Latin culture is bigger. Yeah, kind of like in America.
Cool. Latin
culture's never been cooler than it is right now.
Well, I agree. But I'm trying to say is that now there's more of it. Before it's like, oh, I know Mexicans. Now I'm like, oh, I'm getting to know Puerto Ricans and this, and it's becoming more how like before, like with house music. Like now everyone likes house music. Before it was, oh, that's for like weirdos that do drugs. Now it's like everyone's doing it. Everyone's jumping on it. It's being more embraced because we're all Spotify, Apple. We're all meshing with each other. Everything's just coexisting now.
There's a dilemma now with music in general is everyone has their own curated playlists in their pocket. So there's no general consensus of what's hot. Because remember back in the day, I'm dating myself, but TRL told you what was a hit You had Limp Bizkit to Eminem to Britney Spears to
Total Request
Korn.
Live. They tell them about. They don't know about TRL. Some viewers might not know about TRL.
Total Request
I was at
Live
the end
with
of
Carson
TRL.
Daly.
I was at the end. I was like,
You know what?
when it went away.
You gotta explain what MTV is.
Yeah. No, you do. MTV.
Back in my day, they played music videos on MTV. But see, even with Butters. But so it is a problem because we used to have a common pathway to consume entertainment. And now everything is custom curated for the individual. So what is a hit anymore?
Yeah.
And that's really concerning because having the confidence to play Peso Pluma, it had to be so parabolically popular. And I had the confidence to play it.
That's crazy.
Because I'm not a record breaker. I've never been a record breaker DJ. I play hits. I play what I know my crowd will know.
Okay.
And that's it. And so for me to have the confidence to play Peso Pluma, that shows you how high level that was. But then, there's so many good songs like Karol G tracks, for example. Karol G has
huge
so
for
many
women.
bangers.
She's like-
but I don't know which one people actually know. Like as far as having the confidence to drop it out in a night.
Yeah.
So like that's what my biggest concern is because now everything kind of fizzled back down. Like what's spiking right now? I'm not seeing any spikes. I feel like this has been the summer of no hits.
Dude,
Nokia.
You agree?
Nokia.
Nokia, that's it.
Stacy.
But that's Drake
But that's
again.
just one.
Yeah,
That's just
Drake.
one. And it's not like 8, 9.
What is the
but
hit
that's
of
one
summer?
hit.
What's the hit of summer to you?
To me, Nokia, or if not
Yeah.
with or Bad Bunny in Latin World.
That's crazy.
L.
AO.
L's
Yeah,
huge.
for sure.
See, I don't even play AO.
Yeah, L's huge.
No,
No.
Well, Nueva York is huge, but
Nueva York
in
has
the
been
Latin crowd,
my hit.
AO goes off.
AO, it was the one that goes off.
There's been really, and I've talked to other DJs on social media about this. It's not a summer with a plethora of hits. There's not where's all these hits? There's not even anything bubbling.
I talked to a lot of people about that. It's festival season. It's festival era.
Which is
Everyone wanted to go
dying too.
see like I Hate Models. Like I heard a hard summer. Not heard. I read that I Hate Models was so packed that people couldn't even fit to get to even see them hard. And I'm like, not to hope I don't get dragged by this. I don't know a single song by I Hate Models. I think it's become more.
I don't even know what that is.
I Hate Models. They're dance DJs. So they, I think it's becoming more underground. Not underground, but like. It's not on the radio or it's not on TR on the mainstream
Yeah.
telling you what the hits are or whatever. Now I find out about it because I don't know. I Hate Models.
So popular music is underground right now.
Yeah, all the house.
It's hilarious.
Everyone was dying to see I Hate Models. I'm like, bro, who? I had to look at and they're not even like hits that I've heard of, but they're big in the dance world.
No,
It's funny you say that because in my office, I work with all these kids. They're like 21 to 28, right? There's like 15 of them. I let them control the music in the day, right? Every day it's just like 8 hours of stuff I've never heard. They know every single word. And they'll be like, dude, you hear that song that came out today? And they already know every single word. And it's like, what? Like, I've never heard this song before.
Are you ever like, oh, what is that? That sounds good, or that doesn't happen?
As a DJ.
No, definitely. There are some heaters, but then there's also some stuff you're like,
why?
What the like they were playing this stuff today. I can only describe it as like EDM heavy metal. It was like death EDM.
Whoa.
And like they were all
DDM.
walking around like, yeah, it was crazy. I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck is this? Like that's a little much for me. But no, there are some like good stuff out there. There's also some trash.
There is.
There's some stuff out there. I'm like, whoa.
I think it's all I Hate Models. Like they don't have any. How do I say this? Like no hits on radio or anything. But look at how it's.
What is their delivery method for popularity?
SoundCloud, their TikTok, social media. That's all they kids don't. I mean, we already know this. They don't go to radio to tell them what's popular. They go off of like TikTok, what's trending and stuff like that.
Because I think we're getting to a point now where we can actually start seeing this as like we talk about it as a mystical thing, social media. But now we're actually seeing the true impact with this younger generation that's growing up, that's had an iPad since they were a baby. This is how they consume, and we got to watch this very closely. Because this is serious stuff. Because if you want to stay relevant as a DJ or an entertainer or a producer of movies or anything like that, social media is becoming the only way. It's not a way. It's the only way, especially going into the next 10 years. Because think about it. Kids that were 5 years old 10 years ago, they had iPads then. They had Wi-Fi then. They know what Google is. They know what everything is from an infantile standpoint. They know how to operate all these appliances with elite level, but now they're creating their own tastes. They're creating their own vision, their own consumable choices.
That's why it was packed for I Hate Models because they created their I love this artist, boom, and it becomes more of like not a cool thing, but it's more intimate now.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny too. Like,
go ahead.
I was just saying, like, I look at my kids. My kids aren't allowed on social media, right?
Oh, that's
but
good.
they know every song to every song, or they know every word to every song that comes out. And I ask them all the time, and they're like, "Oh, we hear it on Fortnite." Video games are another huge source of like where like artists will release all these songs and they hear them on video games, and they're released first to video games. Yeah,
but this is also creating a fence between grown adults and the younger generation. It used to be like grandpas be like, you know, they were felt disconnected from a younger generation, but we're only one generation separate, not two. And we're feeling disconnected. Like it feels like a fishbowl.
Yeah.
Like they're in this fishbowl thriving and we're looking at like, y'all are eating like that? Like it's crazy.
I experienced that in downtown because downtown is, I feel like downtown's the first, what is it called? The first step into nightlife before they go to Omni and the big clubs. And I have to play all the new stuff. And I'm like, man, I feel like I'm getting old because I'm like, damn, I'm still playing like records that were hot to me, but to them it's like,
never heard of this.
Yeah. But also the new stuff, some of the new stuff isn't working for them, and they love the Y2K in 2010. That's why you're seeing Y2K pop up everywhere.
It's a novelty.
People called it corny when I did it. I'm like, no, dude, this is the next thing because it's officially 10 years old now. LMFAO, I mean, that's 2010s, but like all the old Rihannas, it's all 10, 15 years old now.
But here's a huge
15 to
difference.
20, sir.
Yeah, it's 20 years
We
old.
09, 10, again.
25 years old, actually. Britney Spears, Backstreet Boys, that's 99.
Yeah. I was thinking like 2009, the cusp. But yeah, if you want Britney, it's 25. Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary, right?
But it's working, dude. These kids, these Y2K parties. Like I did one at Live. I did a Y2K party.
Yeah.
And I did a slam where I'm like, oh, let me risk it. And I was sober, bro. I did the whole thing sober. And you know when you're drunk, you're like, oh, I was gonna do it. It's gonna be. Who cares? But I was sober. I was like, I did a Britney into a I'm the Real Slim Shady. And I was like, man, it's gonna work. But like right from the one, I was like, it's gonna work. Are they gonna know it? Because this is records like 99, and it worked. And I remember, dude, it went nuts. I'm like, oh my god, they know Eminem. Like, I didn't think they were gonna know it. And
we were talking about this. We went to this party downtown, and it was kind of like a backyard barbecue kind of setup where the DJ is facing the camera, the dance floor is behind him, but it was super fun. Biggest song in the 4 hours we were there was "Back That Ass Up" by Juvenile.
What? Still bangs.
Biggest reaction of the entire time we were there, and we were sitting right next to the DJ booth for 4 hours, like the whole time we were there. Just
and what were they playing though? Other records?
It was a lot of like Y2K stuff. They'd kind of mix in with like newer mashups, and then back to the Y2K stuff, and then like Get Lows and Yaz and all that fun stuff. Dude, I'm telling you, they played that right from the one. The dun dun dun.
Yeah, right from the
Everybody just fucking went crazy, and we all looked at each other like,
how old was the DJ?
Like 24.
See that? Like I feel like
when did that record come out? 99
for the
99 for the 2000s. Yeah, you're right. So he wasn't even
born for some of this music.
No.
But
why do you think they react to it? Like why do you think it's that era of music the producers were so good, like the production, the technology?
Where are you playing this music?
What?
Where are you playing Y2K music?
All over the place.
In a club though.
I did Live. I have my own Y2K party.
And where are they listening to new music in concerts? So now you're starting to see club music thrives in a club. And a lot of this new music doesn't thrive in a club.
It doesn't.
They got to go to a concert to see it be performed, but they're not dancing. They're all just standing with their phones watching their favorite artist.
Yeah.
Playboy Carti for The Weeknd. The Weeknd's so talented, and Playboy Carti's so big, but he's more of a clout artist.
Yeah.
When he came out and performed, you can tell everyone was like, damn, I'm a big fan, but this is not it.
Dude, that shit was viral. It was crazy.
Which one?
The clips of him performing.
Dude,
and people were just like,
what performance?
There was like this whole, exactly.
Like, bro,
terrible. Because he's just yelling, and people are like, what the?
And you have The Weeknd, who's a phenomenal, doing all these crazy, vocal ranges and singing and coming out with pyro, and he's just walking around. And it shows the new generation, damn, this is why they like good music. Or club music, like you're saying.
Y2K music was the club era, so they go to clubs to listen to our eras of music. It's hilarious.
The quality of the production, the music, the songwriters was so much better.
Star power.
And it's memorable.
No, but the factory, the hit factory that it went through.
Yeah.
8 writers for a song,
so many demos coming in, and the A&Rs were actually choosing songs and no, that one's not gonna make it. Now that this is gonna make it.
Name a Playboy Carti song.
Evil Jordan.
I was just about.
Any others?
I can't.
I got a couple, but that are gonna work in the club. Man, 2 songs.
Could you play Evil Jordan in a club? No.
I did it last night.
Urban.
I did last night. First 30 seconds. After that, you can just tell the beginning. Yeah.
And how long
there's
is
another
a
one
TikTok
too
video?
that he had, and it was actually a really good. The I Millie Rock in New York. I Millie Rock, but it's actually he's pronouncing words, and it's a club record. Yeah, but also the producer made it very clubby. Yeah. Then he went, but
because that came out pre-COVID. That was way a long time ago.
Think about all those hip hop songs that only worked like the Stephanie song. What hip hop songs from the 2015 to 2020 era still work in the club?
2020.
Now they're all getting remixed into tech house.
Yeah, the Bad and Bougie.
We all became remixes at 128 now.
I always go back to that time in when we were in Florida, and it was like that Bad and Bougie era, and the crowd. It was a college night in Lakeland, Florida, right?
Yep.
At Barry Carew.
Yeah.
Shout out to Barry Carew, just opened up his new.
You got a new joint,
and you were DJing, and that Bad and Bougie was the hottest song of the moment at that point. And they got super excited for 15 seconds.
Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah. And it just kind of...
That's how Eagle Jordan works for me. Yep. I ask all my fellow DJs that are in downtown, how's it working for you? Bro, after 30 seconds, I'm out of it. I'm like, bro, the song's only a minute and a half long. I know. 30 seconds, I'm out.
and we used to make edits of those hip-hop tracks where it'd be like, clap, 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 right into the hot spot, and then it would just explosion out.
Yeah.
So you're just like...
I need to make an edit of that song because, bro, it's
great. like Work, all those kind of songs. You get 10 seconds. You're like, well, get the fuck out
dude.
Because
after like the whole Montana verse, and all, I'm like, all right, dude, I need to get out of this.
You gotta get out of it.
I need to edit, bro. The French Montana, I'm like, I need to get out of this. Like, how do I?
Or like the old Kendrick shit where he would rap for 5 minutes, and you're like,
and the only part is Good Kid, Mad City. They're like, wow. Where you from the chorus? I have an edit where it's just a chorus that, and that's it. You're right.
You gotta just loop a word.
It's good. It's a good song in the car, but dude, you're like, all right, bro. The crowd wants to hear just the catchy part.
And you're stuck. And what do? You can't.
And guess what? How much worse is it going to get the next generation that were iPad kids that don't know how to be bored? These young kids don't know how to be bored at all because they've always been stimulated. Yeah. Always like they don't know how to sit there.
They're not going to go to clubs. I think the kids that are babies right now, they're not going to go to clubs.
I think they are. I think they'll cycle to something different.
Yeah.
Smaller. It won't be the mega clubs, but I think
I was gonna say, will it be what I describe what their experience
how
look
I
like?
think. Look at these Backstreet Boys shows and Bruno Mars. People are gonna crave live music more and appreciate it more. Just how the AI influencers are gonna come and go, and they're gonna have their time, but people are gonna crave the human touch. And that's gonna be valued. So whatever humans are great at being influencers or being musicians, they're gonna outshine everybody. Well, so it's actually an opportunity for
you. Actually perfectly segued into my next subject I wanted to talk about. So that was an excellent alley-oop. Because
that's why I'm here.
Shout out to Alex. All right, guys, I want to take a quick break from the podcast. And as a special thank you for tuning in, Late Night Legends wants to offer you guys 15% off at the clubkillers.com store. It's super easy. All you got to do is go to clubkillers.com, go to the store, pick out your favorite merch, and when you go to the checkout window, enter the code LATENIGHT15. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get back to the podcast. Because, being that we're in Vegas and being that we are in what is supposed to be the epicenter of all things trendy and entertainment, the beacon, you could say, right? Vegas is getting a lot of shit right now.
Okay.
But hear me out, right? Vegas, if you look on social media, you look at people that are influencers and the frustration of consumers and all these things. But then I'm noticing that when you look at downtown, because all of a sudden the concentration isn't on these casinos. The strip is still doing good in general from check it out, take your photos, hey, everything's cool. Mm-hmm. But the frustration with the casino gouging and things like that, all of a sudden there's pop-ups like Bottle Blonde, Old Red. They're not casino affiliated. They're just living on the strip, and even Blue Martini's coming soon. So they're entertainment venues that don't rely on the bureaucracy of a casino necessarily, but they provide value and entertainment. And then, of course, we've got downtown.
Thriving.
Now, have you heard about the new electric mushroom?
Yeah. It's popping.
And then you've got Disco Pussy. You've got the ice cream. You've got Commonwealth.
Lucky Day.
Lucky Days crushes it too. And what's the other one? Substance.
Yep. So Substance.
I feel like all of a sudden these are the leaders in the nightlife.
They're good.
I mean, it's interesting to see how all of a sudden people are moving and shifting just in this town. And do you think that's like a predication of what's going on, or even just a representation of what's happening elsewhere in nightlife industry in general? It's getting away from super clubs to places you can feel like you're at home. Do you see this as an ongoing trend? Because I see it. I think it is.
The question is honestly for you guys, because you guys have seen, I call eras, like every 5 years a different era. You guys have seen from all the eras. That's a question more for you guys. Because for me, this is my first time seeing Vegas like something.
Downfall.
Not Vegas. Nightclubs suffer. To me, when I got into clubbing, bro, there was a new nightclub every year, and then Monday through Sunday was a night that, you know, Tuesdays at 1-0, Wednesdays at Excess.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't exist anymore. So it's more for that question is more for you guys. Where is it going? Where do you guys think? If your expertise, if you guys have seen your experience, where is it gonna go? Are we seeing like?
Well, I mean, I guess to like your question, like I had this really interesting thing happen to me a couple weeks ago. So during Summer League, my company was asked to like book this event. And the company asked me, because I had these relationships, to like book tables at a club in Vegas, right? So we ended up booking $50,000 in this, not through me, like I didn't pay for it.
You're like an ambassador.
I'm an ambassador, right? I'm just facilitating the deal, right? So, you know, I'm kind of like handling everything. We go to the venue. The cocktail waitress doesn't know who I am. She just knows like I'm the name on the table, right? And it's been so long since I've been at a mega club as just a consumer. So we go in there, and I got to tell you, the experience was terrible. And I can see why people don't want to go back to nightclubs. First, she hands me this check, and I'm going through it like we had like a $10,000 deposit. I'm asking her like, hey, this $10,000 on this deposit, I want to make sure like this isn't part of the check. Service fees, resort fees, admin fees. The original table was $25,000 after fees.
The original table, the minimum is $25,000.
Then after everything else, it was $40,000. So then we had another table that was $10,000, and
What?
Wow.
that was tips, fees, everything.
So that's out the door.
Wait, they're adding
out
little
the door.
fees in there?
Oh, resort fee, admin
To a
fee.
nightclub, to a bottle service,
Yes.
to a table at a nightclub.
And
Taxes too.
And then
All the taxes.
Taxes were crazy. And then on top of it, I asked the waitress, I'm like, hey, I want to make sure when I tip you, there's no other tip written into this, right? And she's like, no. I talked to her like 4 times. I'm looking at the receipt. My partner's looking at the receipt, everything. We get home, sure enough, auto-grat, and then we topped on top of it.
Oh
so
my
she
God. So she
made
lied to
like,
you.
she made like
clearly asked her,
yeah,
like, hey.
clearly, black and white. And
So,
then
hold
and it's
on,
written
hold
in
on.
tiny, small little letters, like the very, very bottom of the receipt, this tiny, tiny little thing that says, it says gratuity, blah, blah, blah. But then you have to write in your tip in this giant area up above. And we went through it line by line. It's the very last thing, and we just didn't see it.
So you checked with the cocktail waitress 4 times in a Vegas club.
Before I signed the thing, 4 times.
And she said that there was no tip.
And she was like, no, this is the tip, and you're tipping on top of the tip. And so
So how much was she tipped?
she ended up working with like $6,500.
$6,500.
Yeah, and then to make it even worse,
That's
the
a trip to
people I
Puerto
was
Rico.
with have never been,
Hey,
they'd never been to a nightclub before, right? These are like total rookies.
Yeah.
So I leave and I go to the bar. I go to the bathroom. Before I leave, I'm like, hey, I just want to get 4 shots of tequila. The rest of the group is still coming, and don't do anything. I come back, there's 4 fucking bottles, and these are the most expensive bottles. And I go,
course.
who ordered this? Because you pay $25,000 and you got to spend all this money on liquor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the time it took me to go to the bathroom and come back, $11,000 in bottles.
Oh my God.
And what had happened is she was like, oh yeah, well, instead of me getting the 4 shots, why don't I just start bringing out the bottles? And I was like, don't let anybody else order. Nobody else is allowed to fucking order from this table in 5 minutes, and then once they bring them out, it's yours.
They
open
suggested
them.
it.
So it's
Yeah,
feeling
they
like
suggested
scammy,
it.
sketchy,
Dude,
like hustling. Like you don't feel
hustling,
like
yeah.
the what is it called? The service
The
isn't there anymore.
hospitality.
There we
Yeah.
go. That's the word. Hospitality.
And
That's-
it's like, it's great when you walk in, everybody's like, hi, what's up, man? This is so
Yeah.
nice, it'll be so nice. But then it's like, dude, I don't want to go back to a club now. If I
that's
was
everybody.
a normal
I mean,
consumer, I'd be like, fuck this.
If
I'm
it's
never
cute
going
when
back.
it's $500 on the
Yeah.
line. It's
Yeah.
not cute when it's 50,000.
No. And you would think that, like, at that point, like, imagine if you're just some dude from, like, the Midwest that comes out here to have fun, and they want to go see Lil Wayne or whatever at their
whoever.
club, right? They
T-Pain.
think their friends all pitch in some money to go get a table and whatnot, and then they come home the next day and they're
That's
probably
insane.
tanked. and
Well,
they're
I
like,
tell
"What?"
people that are new in town, you got to follow basically a 50% rule. If you have a $1,000 budget, you better plan on spending $1,500. If you got a $10,000 budget, plan on spending $15,000. And that's still kind of on the edge of being safe, because people don't realize like the taxes. It's like an exorbitant tax for bottle service and rental cars, like exotic rental cars. Because every once in a while, like I used to like rent like Lamborghinis for my birthday.
Rich.
Nice.
I'd be rich if I could own one.
Now so you got 2
It's
chains.
the only 2 chains. No, but for real, like they charge you like 29% on top of. It's not a normal retail sales tax here in Nevada. And
they're allowed to charge that tax?
Because and entertainment tax, that's another one they.
You're lying.
There was a performer that night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So there's an entertainment tax on top. Yeah, you pay for it.
No, the club's supposed to pay for that.
No, you pay for it as a consumer.
Yeah, I'm sure they charge.
You get into that. The club.
We don't do that, but I could see Vegas.
Yeah. So this brings up so I guess this compounds my question.
Let me finish the thought on that.
My bad.
Like, I know exactly why the Vegas Strip is having these problems, because they're operating short term to a P&L. So
explain that.
Every quarter they have a P&L as a profit and loss report, and they're just trying to show their shareholders how much money they made compared to the last quarter. So that's why your hamburgers are $32. That's why the water costs $22, because they're simply operating to a P&L, and two corporations own the entire Vegas Strip. That's Caesars and MGM. I think they have over 20-something properties combined.
Yeah.
So
but
parking
fees,
resort fees, $60 to check in early. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like they take out employees and only have two people in the check-in, and it's like, hey, if you guys want to check in early and get your room, $60.
Yeah.
So to break it down in the most simpleton terms is that they're going off of like barely a quarter, and they're able to, look how much we made in this quarter.
3 months, yes.
Look how much we made this right here, so we can charge this. They're not going off of a year
and
or like 2 years.
And they've been doing that since COVID. So even before, some people before COVID, so they're trying to make that money back.
With the reality in a sense.
Well, no, it's just how Icon felt. All the consumers started to feel like, for example, this happened to me at, I spent, $900 at Bellagio, Prime Bellagio. We had dinner there. Spent $900, and because I'm 15 minutes late, I have to pay $30 for parking. And I just feel kind of like, dude, but I just spent $900 to eat here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they don't give you a ticket.
And they try to push sides on us.
Yeah. Like, and they actually overcharge you.
They overcharge me and try to be like, the waiter was pushing sides, upselling them, and we're like, no, we're good, and they still brought them anyways.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we didn't order those, and they still charged me for one of them, and I didn't notice it till later. So, but imagine if you gambled $500, lost $500, or say you gambled $20,000, and then you're leaving the casino, slap in the face, $30 for parking.
Yeah.
Like what?
And it's not a lot to them if you just spent 20, but it's the principle.
Yeah, and then after that happens, you don't feel like coming back, and that's what's the compound effect of that is what we're seeing now.
Going back to the P&L, you can do this to so many people. You can rip off a certain amount of people in a row, right? Because there's lines of people coming in, but eventually that line starts to end because they're not. All of a sudden, you don't have reciprocal business. You have one-time business, and those people run out. So your experience, all of a sudden you feel a type of way, and you don't want to support a business that is literally ripping you off, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally. The environment psychologically makes you no longer want to consume, because I always think about anything from like the let's come back to Frank Sinatra era, the Marilyn Monroes and the Rat Pack, all the way in through the 90s with the Chevy Chase era, where they had cars and the slot machines. You can win a car, put $1 in, you win a car, put $1 in, you win a car. That was the fun of it, because you could eat $5 breakfast and go spend your money how you chose. And I think what's happening though is people are catching on to that psychology, because it's just psychology and it's simple economics. Make people feel like they're having a good time and getting a good value. You're going to come back. It's very simple. And it doesn't have to be like you're putting things on sale. You just make things a good value, and all of a sudden people will flock. And you're starting to see this, like providing value, not overcharging, and having a good experience at these places like downtown. I feel like downtown is a hotbed.
That's why Circa and Durango are winning, and that's where I'd rather go spend my money than a Caesars property on the Strip or an MGM property on the Strip, because it has like no soul, and they're just trying to like overcharge you on every little thing.
Mm-hmm. Did it have soul before 10, 15 years ago when you would go?
Yeah, because they were all independently owned. The majority of them were independently owned, so you got to compete.
So competition makes product better.
Even the Cosmo was better before MGM took it over.
But you can see the difference from here, from 2005, I don't know, 2008, whatever, to now.
Definitely.
Wow.
But
Definitely.
then, let's talk about that pool real quick, because just to give them their props, like Flamingo Pool, they're doing a great
just
job.
Just to piggyback off one last thing is that one thing that's not hurting that I've seen is concerts, festivals, anything that has, like he said, human touch, like human interaction, like the Backstreet Boys. Bro, I looked up tickets. I want to go so bad. They start at $300 to $400 nosebleeds.
Yeah,
and I'm like, damn.
But that's
like,
because of demand.
Yeah,
but I'm saying it's selling, and like all the Latin shows sold out. Look at all these people flying to Bad Bunny. Shakira sold out the bro. Shakira hasn't. Well, she has a couple of new hits, but bro, she's still touring off her old stuff. Morgan Wallen killing it. Like the country people want, like he said, piggybacking off of maybe the strip isn't doing well, but all these concerts and everything that is bringing business here, bro. These concerts and festivals are selling.
But those are singular experiences, because like as opposed to a nightclub relies on repeat business because it's always open every week.
So you don't think it's the economy at all then?
Well, I think it's definitely an economy situation too.
Okay.
It's a perfect storm of all these things.
Maybe they're taking out loans to buy.
Well, but they are. Klarna. Shout out to Klarna. They're crushing it.
Okay, because
they're financing
how do you
everything.
afford like $1,500 for easy?
Yeah, but then you look at like we're going into a value
based. but that's crazy. 4 easy. It's funny, but people are really on credit.
No, it's like we were talking about those kids, like in my office. Like we talk about it all the time. Like they pick these moments of the year, and like one of them is going to be Coachella. One of them is going to be their friend's birthday. They're going to go to Hardfest. Like
EDC.
They save up all year. EDC. They save up all year. That's the only time of the year that they drink. It's the only time of the year that they do anything.
They go ham.
Like and they go, but that's their moment. Otherwise, they're not doing anything. They're not going out. They're going to bars, but they're not going to clubs. They're not going.
And they're looking for value, because like I keep saying the word value about everything, because it's true. Because if you have a certain amount, everybody has a certain amount of money. You can't just keep charging people $8,000 for tickets to Bad Bunny, and then I want to go out and get bottle service for $20,000, and then I'm going to go here. People can't just keep repeatedly doing that. There's finite amount of funds. A lot of people work really hard for their money, so they want to feel good when they're spending it. Whether you're in Nashville, New York, Miami, New York, or just a little town in Wisconsin, right? Like you got to feel like you're going to go somewhere that you're actually getting value, because it's not just about like not everywhere has a DJ. You just want to have a decent drink at a decent price and sit around and hang out with your friends, right? And more people are starting to crack that code. And I talked to this on a previous podcast. It's like just sell more volume, and it's okay to have a larger liquor order and slightly less per unit on the drinks. And people are starting to figure that out. Because
that's what I'm doing off ticket sales. I'm like, bro, instead of charging 20, we charge 10. But instead of having 800 people, we have 1,600. We still make the same amount, and it looks cracking.
Yeah,
and then people get excited, and they're already, I only paid $20 to get in, or $10. I'll spend more on liquor. And then people make bad decisions when you're drunk. You just buy more. You do 4 easy payments on a tequila shot now.
But wasn't that the whole?
No, I'm serious though. Like I told my business partner, I was like, bro, stop charging $50 to get into this show.
So
charge
much.
20. They'll be, oh my god, I'm getting it for free. I'm already, So I think that's why downtown's killing it too. Like it's cheap to get in. There's no huge cover. Also, there's in Calvin Harris and John Summit, but.
Well, on that note, look what happened with Brooklyn Bowl. They just shut down with $500 million in liabilities.
So I do go against you on that
No
comment.
way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they
Brooklyn
shut
Bowl
down.
Vegas?
I didn't know that.
No, not Brooklyn Bowl. Sorry,
Mirage.
Brooklyn Mirage.
Oh, I was like,
said
what?
Brooklyn Bowl.
Cut that one.
That'd
Sorry.
be all sad.
Clip that part out.
Yeah.
No, but
So what happened?
so
What
Brooklyn
closed down?
Mirage shut down with $500 million in liabilities, and
Somebody's gonna buy that up.
yeah. So, but think about a lot. I'm imagining a lot of that liability was payroll. I mean, they remodeled, so it was a bad remodel. Apparently, I got some feedback on that. There was a bad remodel. And
So when you say liability, you mean like debt? Like they
had 150 million in assets, 500 million in liabilities.
Yeah. Wow.
So that equals
Deposits.
shut down.
Yeah.
And I, think about like when you're overextending on payroll and paying DJs exorbitant amounts of
What
money.
was it supposed to be? A huge EDM venue?
Oh, it's an absolute
Huge.
stunner. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Didn't Carnage perform the 8-hour or like the 12-hour set there?
Yeah,
Or, like,
and actually,
It's
yeah.
like
So-
3 rooms, right? Like 3.
so it was
10,000
open
people
before.
rooms,
It's
I
supposed to
think.
be a.
What's an amphitheater?
Can you describe it? I've never seen.
It's
I know.
it's a what do they call it? Shipping containers, and it's like imagine that like a big horseshoe. That's one of the rooms, and it's just a massive platforms on platforms outdoors. It's near the river, if I remember correctly. It's near the river.
So it was open, and I remember Carnage
it was
performed
over
there.
summertime only. It was
Okay.
like they only did summertime concerts.
And why
and-
did it flop, or why did
Well,
it?
apparently, from what I heard, is obviously when you have 500 million, there's a lot of things going on there. They remodeled, from what I understand.
It was a big construction project.
And then it wasn't a popular venue after it was remodeled. They didn't
No,
like
they
the
haven't.
way
They haven't opened.
all day.
I don't think they open.
Oh, so yeah. So
We
there's
should
a
probably
little bit of
fact check
chatter
that.
there off the social media, but it's just that's a place that relied on big ticket acts. And now look what's going on. All these little venues with tiny little 700 caps are blowing up. So it's going from these relying on massive concert situations to these more underground experiences and more boutique, more bespoke, more custom tailored to a vibe, a particular genre, a particular act. Because like I always see Disco Pussy, they're bringing in tons of niche-y DJs.
Niche, like very
Super
guys.
niche. And they kill it every single time, like Porter Robinson or Bad Boy Bill or whatever. And they have great followings, but it's probably more appropriate to pack out a smaller room on a Wednesday night, even if they have a huge following.
Tickets are
they're affordable.
drinks
You
are
show
better.
up.
The only thing that says parking kind of sucks, but
But still, I mean, but think about like we focus on Vegas on these discussions, but there's tons of these venues and all over the place. All like Cleveland, for example, they've got tons of cool venues, but a lot of them are smaller. And then they, I'm blanking out. Like Forward, that's another amphitheater that they only do summertime shows, and they focus more on the bigger acts. But then they have great clubs. Shout out to Ivy, that's where I play, and there's a ton of cool bars. And it's just a really cool place to see. They have great Latin nights there. And there's tons of cool things to do. And so every city has different boardwalk experiences. St. Petersburg in Florida, Armature Works in Tampa. They can bring these great shows, and it's affordable, if not free, just free parties.
To be the devil's advocate real quick, you said something along these lines. This is pertaining to this. You said that the John Summits and all these big acts are going to have to kind of like bring it down, right?
I think so.
And I mean, there was a comment saying it was like a promoter. I read him and I kind of combated him. I saw your, you know what I'm talking about, right? His last clip. He goes, no, John Summit, all these guys are going to find new places to DJ at. But I don't think. What is your guys' opinion on? Do you think they're going to keep this? But those, I don't know how much he gets. I kind of have an idea what he gets paid. But do you think there's enough of that in the world for him?
Supply and demand, yes.
Yeah,
for it's just
For
going to be
brands.
It's going to be that 1% of DJs, which he's in right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the
Not John Summit
B's,
specifically.
C's,
Everybody, the B's and the C's too.
No, they're going to fall off, and that's what happened in Vegas. Remember back in what was it, 2013, 2014 here in Vegas, everybody was making 15K. Like these guys that I can't even remember their names anymore.
I can name them. I'm not gonna name them because they're all get canceled.
They were booked at Hakkasan, at Light.
I mean, that's how it is now. You look at like Thursday, Friday of any club, and you're probably like, I couldn't name one song of that person, and I've never seen it.
But it was happening at every
and-
club back then.
But because the club's already packed, it was justified. You could pay a C-level festival DJ $15,000 because they won a hit 9 years ago, and you could still have 1,000, 2,000 people in the club because the club was going to be popping regardless. So you could afford it. But then all of a sudden, these clubs aren't. We talked about the conveyor belt eventually rip enough people off. They stop going to the strip as much. One time, and it's just not sustainable. And I just want, if I want to go out on a Friday night and spend $100, you can't even do that on the strip. You can't. It's physically impossible.
You can't even park for $100.
Certain nights on F1 weekend, forget about it.
Yeah, that's
So-
insane.
So what is the future for Vegas? What are we looking at? Like, I feel like I have a good friend of mine that's a host. So he does all the gamblers. He goes, bro, gamblers are spending money. It's about like 50, 70, 80, 100,000 a weekend. I feel like nightlife is where everyone's talking smack about.
Oh, it's the bars, just bars too.
Well, you're seeing it like Barbershop, Pinky Ring, Caspian's, all these nightclub, conglomerates like
Live
Power Group
music.
and whatnot. Like they're all shifting their focus to smaller live music venues. They're easier
With
to pack.
DJ support.
Do you
They
think
still
the
have DJ support.
5,000
overhead.
people acts are gone?
I think that the live music is next. Back again.
Yeah.
Gonna happen again. Going back to my comment earlier, it's just so much fun. There's only so many times you can see some guy with their hands in the air.
You think EDM I'm gonna cancel. Will EDM DJs last? Like,
For sure. They're always going to be around. It's just not going to be the
I
domination
just never got the
anymore.
concept of it. Like at a festival, I get it.
Yeah.
The club, I'm just like,
We're really watching
I
the
don't-
sunset of an
I don't
era.
think you've been to enough places then, because once you're in that specific setting, and you feel the energy of like the house music, especially when you're in overseas, where it's their culture. Like when you're and I remember going to the first time I went to
No, I've been to Ibiza. I get it there. I'm talking about Vegas. Just Vegas. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Just Vegas. Not Europe or something. I've been to the clubs.
Here it's not as authentic.
That's what I meant. Do you think EDM DJs are gonna last in Vegas. Like, all right, bro. Like, how many times can you do the, And Ibiza, I get it, because and Spain and Europe and South America is part of the culture. They grew up on that stuff. Yeah,
like house music, especially like EDM. Like when you talk about like big room EDM.
I meant dance music overall.
Yeah, dance music.
But in Vegas, I'm sorry, that was my question.
Actually, I think in Vegas specifically, it's gonna have a problem.
That's what I meant. Not Ibiza, not South America, not Asia.
Because I'm watching it in real time, because I've been out a few times in the last couple of weeks, and it's sad.
Because when you go out to Ibiza or you're in Germany, these are people that grew up as 10-year-olds listening to house music and dance music. Oh, yeah. It isn't just a trend. Like a guy has 2 hits on the radio now or whatever.
Ibiza's never going to die.
Yeah,
because it has a European. There's so many European countries.
Yes, and it's
the
part
epicenter of the nucleus.
But do you think Vegas is?
It's not doing too good this year, though.
Yeah. Well, I think that Vegas, you're just going to see.
But that's economical, too. There's a lot of economics.
All places with tourism.
I don't think Ibiza's being mismanaged. It's so much as the just economy.
There's a lot of greed there.
I mean, you're just going to see like a market correction in Vegas, right? You had so many big venues that popped up, and it's just unsustainable. We don't have the tourist numbers anymore. Places like Omnia, XS, whatever, they're going to survive and they're going to thrive. But the BC tier spots, they're going to fall off, and the BC tier DJs are going to fall off with them. And your Omnias and your Omnias and XS.
They're always going to book Aoki. They're always going to book Diplo.
You're always going to have the
Zed.
A+ tier guys, and people want to go see them, and they're backed by casinos, and they drive revenue. So
but think about, we're going to be looking at Steve Aoki like Barry Manilow in 20 years. Because Aoki's going to survive until
the Aoki jump.
Aoki's a marketing machine, man.
Yeah. So, but those are the guys that are going to last. Like Diplo, he has such a strong brand. At Tiesto, he has such a strong brand. They will survive until their 60s and 70s.
Well, they already are 60s.
The time is now.
We some old heads. That's why we got to get the young. We're going to get the young DJs with the old guys.
Yeah.
I
mean, we're going to be some weird old people.
Some old heads.
Yeah, it was just towards Vegas, not like Europe or anything.
Vegas is
kind
of like
EDM DJs, but I'm just like, bro, they're not. I don't know. I'm just like, where? Because I've been to Europe and I've been to South America. I get it here. This is like. It's like, wow, this is part of their culture. But when I'm watching it in Vegas, I'm like, man, I can see these kids are kind of like, man, I paid $150 to get in, dressed up.
Like that Beautiful Mind, the numbers are open.
I'm like, damn, I can see what they're thinking. Like, man, this is not what I thought it was going to be. This is not... Yeah, when you go to Ibiza, bro, everyone's vibing, dude. No phones, or way more.
But the thing about like why Omnia it's so amazing in the first place is the chandelier, that $10 million chandelier. That
$10 million?
Yeah, it takes 3 people to run that thing. And it's incredible. And shout out to Butters. He's out in the background.
Big news: the Late Night Legends podcast is getting its own channel. We're moving. On behalf of the entire Club Killers crew, we want to thank you for your support in tuning into our brand new podcast, Late Night Legends. And it's been going so well, we want to dedicate its own channel on YouTube. All right, guys, it's super easy to find. All you got to do is go to youtube.com/@ClubKillersPodcast. And the best part about the podcast having its own channel, you'll find the clips, the shorts, and the full-length episodes all in one place. We appreciate everyone watching the episodes, but right now, only a small percentage of you are actually subscribed. So right now is the perfect opportunity to join the new channel, show your support, and get involved with the conversation with Late Night Legends.
People go to see that chandelier regardless. It's a $10 million chandelier.
Sheesh.
Like 3 people run that thing. It's just a spectacle. It's a cool tourist attraction. It's not even a club. It's a tourist attraction, right? So you're going to pack that club out regardless. And those are the places that are like venues. It's not even a club. It's a venue. So of course those things are going to last. But yeah, I think the pinky rings are going to make it a template. It's a new blueprint. And we're going to see that evolve. So, we've actually, that consumed a lot of time because I had so much I wanted to talk to you guys about. But the one thing I've been keeping an eye on social media, and one of the biggest topics I always keep seeing come up is the undercutting and the $200, $300 DJ scenario.
Wait, that's not how much I should get paid?
Yeah. For real, right?
I read this headline on me last night. Wait, I got $300 and a bucket of ice.
And a drink ticket, right?
And a drink ticket, two drink tickets.
But dude, it's we joke about it, but this is a real deal for a lot of DJs, and it's a constant struggle. And I'm asking myself, because all of a sudden the new trend is getting paid by the hour too. This was not a thing 4 years ago, getting paid by the hour. It was always you had a rate and you negotiated the rate. But I'm seeing it. I thought it was just a Vegas thing, but now it's happening everywhere. Like I get paid by the hour and you negotiate the hourly rate. And I'm like, damn, this is not good. Like, in my opinion, it's not good at all.
It's all about leverage, though. Make them change their mind.
And that's the thing.
As a booker, okay, well,
but it's like a race to the bottom, right? And so, this kind of, so many DJs are talking about it on social media that it is an urgent issue, in my opinion, because, DJs. I asked this on a poll actually on the Club Killers Instagram, was what is a fair rate, and I think 500. The word. The number 500 kept coming up, and I can generally agree with that. But then all of a sudden, people are talking about, well, they make me bring my own equipment. They make me play for 6 hours. They make me do all this and that. I'm like, okay, then 500 all of a sudden doesn't seem that good in my head. That's not a good deal, because I always had the standard for the longest time. I was blessed where I could have 2-hour sets, 2-3 hours max. And now I'm seeing, including myself, I'm getting forced to play 4, 5, 6 hour sets, even 7 sometimes.
That's crazy.
And yeah, it is crazy. And that sometimes, the pay is a lot better on those. But I'm basically playing for 2 DJs worth of time slots.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the club owners or the guys that are in charge are seeing the numbers? Do they know that a cheaper DJ that's bad? Do they see that? Or they're, I don't care, numbers are still the same? Like, do they actually know?
Well, there's a combination.
Like, if I have a great DJ for $1,000 a night,
like,
but he's making my bar $50,000 versus the guy's $300, but damn, dude, you're clearing the floor. Do you think they really see that?
It takes a long time to realize that, and I think in this type of economy is where it's good. I like that, because it's not automatically busy. It's not automatically easy to make money anymore. You have to earn it. So all of a sudden, these good DJs are proving themselves and creating the A to B comparison of like, hey, look, I made you money. This guy sucks. He's ruining your night. Hire me. But by the way, I cost more. And it takes a little while to get to that conversation, but this is where it's able to have the conversation, because you have to have that A to B contrast and maybe not always be killing it. If you're not killing it all the time, all of a sudden the cream rises to the top.
So I feel like a lot of the top dogs or like the guy owners don't know. They don't.
They're gonna know now, because
I hope, because like, dude, it's been bad for the last decade. Like, let's get 300. I don't care. My bar is still busy.
Exactly.
But dude, how do I say this? You're here, but you never got the good guy. That's actually 5 times as much. But look at your ROI is way bigger.
Oh, it's huge.
I feel like a lot of owners don't know.
And it's not just DJs either. It's going to prove who the good promoters are. A lot of great promoters are out there, and there's poo-poo promoters that talk a big game and can't deliver. I mean, this is even like bartenders, reliable bartenders, good photographers, really good, good club owners that know how to operate and respond versus dealing with bureaucracy and waiting until it's bad to do something good. You got to do good things like ahead of the curve.
Not to interrupt you, but you're saying that now because we thrived from COVID to like 24. We thrived and we were in a great economy.
Well, it was free money flying everywhere.
Yes,
government money flying everywhere.
You think now that it's harder, it's creating people to work harder for it? Like, now it's scarcity. Now it's going to
spending their own money.
Only the fit will survive.
Yeah, they're spending their money. They're going to vote with their cash. So if the place isn't going well, I'm not going to go there again. Hey, I got ripped off. I'm not going to go there again.
DJ was bad.
This place is too expensive. I don't want to do this. But then you go where you are happy, and all of a sudden it snowballs. Word of mouth happens. Word of mouth marketing. We talk about social media marketing. What about just good old fashioned social marketing? Hey, I had a great time here. I'm more influenced by that than what my phone tells me. So if I want to have a good time at a bar, I'm going to ask some people that go out to bars a lot. They're going to tell me where to go, and this is going to keep happening. So I'll use that phrase again. Like, sometimes things have to burn for new things to grow, and this is a beautiful thing. So like, I'm really excited to see what a challenging economy does for nightlife, and if we're on top of it, we're going to thrive too. I think it's a beautiful thing. So I just, I know we can talk about this a lot more, but it's exciting, guys. Like, we can make another episode about it. So, but guys, I want to thank you for being on once again. We got producer Kellen over here. Shout out to Kellen. Yes, sir.
Man behind the scenes, baby.
I'm your host, DJ DeVille. We got Icon, Alex Dreams, and Exile in the building. We'll see you on the next episode. Late Night Legends.
Late Night Legends. Late Night Legends. Direct from Vegas, it's the Late Night Legends. Late Night Legends. Late Night Legends. Club Killers, let's go. Late Night Legends. Late Night Legends. Direct from Vegas, the world famous Club Killers crew.